Good morning, everybody. It is great to see everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Fayetteville. It's a pleasure having you. We have a fantastic presenter today. We have Dylan Kalkhurst with Givebacks that's going to come and tell us a little bit about his business. So without further ado, Dylan, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, great. Thank you. Can everybody see my screen? Just want to make sure. Very good. So it's so refreshing to hear the North Carolina accent. I live down in Florida now, born and raised in Raleigh, and that's where our company's based. I've been down in Ormond Beach, Florida for about 30 plus years. So North Carolina's in my home. So I definitely love the accent. So thanks for having me on, guys. This is like I believe the 6th 1 Million Cups that I've presented to. I'm a member of the Daytona Beach Club that I go to on a regular basis, skipping their meeting today, so I could be with you guys. So excited to share with you a little bit about our company Givebacks, which started as member hubs. So I'll start with that, kind of give you a little background of our founder. So our parent company is called Member Hub, and we are the leading K-12 CRM communications, e-commerce, and fundraising software that's used by PTAs in over 15,000 schools around the United States. If you have kids in elementary or middle school, you probably have interacted with our Member Hub software, because we have over 900 schools in North Carolina alone that use our software. We have 5-year exclusive agreements with the national PTA and 41 state PTAs. That's really what's helped us grow so fast over the last 3 or 4 years, especially with our Member Hub product. And we're very excited. As of a couple of weeks ago, we were selected for the Inc. 5000 fastest growing private companies in the US, ranked 375, actually the #1 fastest growing software company in North Carolina. So that was a huge honor for us. And, in a weird kind of way, the pandemic, while it really hurt a lot of businesses, it really helped us excel. When you have a 100% virtual communications, e-commerce, and online fundraising platform for, over 6 million parents and 15,000 schools, and they all shut down and go that way, it was really easy for them to leverage our software to keep their parents engaged, keep raising money. So we actually grew pretty dramatically in the pandemic. And during the pandemic, we also, took a step back and reevaluated what our company did. And that's what led us in an interesting way into developing Givebacks, which is primarily what I wanted to talk about today. So Givebacks is fundamentally changing the way that people give to causes they care about. This is our mascot, the Givebacks Genie. Pretty cool. He magically gives you cash back and gives your causes money every time you shop, because we believe that we're starting a movement. And again, we've been building this for the last 2 years during the pandemic as a way for nonprofits and for schools to generate funds in what we call a lifestyle giving climate, where they don't have to get people together, and they could kind of raise funds without having to move product, have big events and things like this. Basically a COVID-proof fundraising option for our nonprofits. So really what drives us is we think the Givebacks is the future of e-commerce. We believe that no one should ever pay full price, and that every purchase in the future should benefit a cause, a charity, or a school. So that's kind of what drove us to develop Givebacks. So let me jump into what Givebacks is all about. So as I mentioned, it's a lifestyle giving movement. Lifestyle giving programs are like Amazon Smile. You probably heard of that. You probably are connected with Amazon Smile. You're supporting a nonprofit. So that's considered a lifestyle giving app. So that's a lifestyle giving app that benefits nonprofits. And then there's also apps and credit cards and programs out there that provide cash back, whether it's your Capital One credit card or Rakuten or something like that. So that provides cash back to the consumer. So we are the first. Givebacks is the first company to be able to merge the cash back to the consumer and a donation to the cause in the same transaction. So we've been, busy over the last couple of years developing relationships, and you can see we've got some pretty big brands participating already. Over 25,000 restaurants and retailers are participating, where if you shop at any of these partners, you're going to get cash back, and they're going to make a donation to your favorite nonprofit or cause. So I don't show this slide to everyone. This is kind of a 1 million cups only slide because I know you guys are all entrepreneurs and you're kind of curious and interested in how Givebacks works. So this is really the economics of a Givebacks offer. So on average, the merchants pay a 7% fee to participate. And in this example right here, Sam's Club is one of our partners, and they provide a 5% cash back plus a 1% donation to the what we call backers cause. So in this particular example right here, if you spend $250 at Sam's Club, you would receive about $12.50 cash back. You also have the opportunity as a backer to send all of your cash back to your cause. So in this particular case, if you chose to do that, your cause would be getting 6% of that transaction instead of 1%. Interestingly enough, we just this week crossed 50,000 backers that have downloaded the app and have gone out and made a purchase. And over 50% of those 50,000 backers that have signed up are selecting donate all my cash back to my cause. And that's pretty rewarding. I like that, especially since I'm the president of a nonprofit down here at Kiwanis Club, and we've been using it for about 8 weeks, and it's really benefiting our small club. So, and then at the end of this transaction, the 1% would go to St. Jude's or whatever charity that you choose. Ultimately, the merchant ends up keeping 93%. So for the merchant, it's a merchant funded program. And it's basically a loyalty marketing program for them. So they take money from their billboards, their radio, TV ads, whatever they're doing, and they dedicate this. And what really works for the merchant is, number one, they're helping a cause. All businesses, as you're probably aware, are looking for ways to align with the community and give back. They kind of have to do that. It's a necessary business model these days. And it's also, they only pay if it works. So they're not having to put a big outlay of advertising dollars out there and kind of hope that everybody sees their ad and comes into the store. So that's how the give back model works. So let's talk about the backer or the person who downloads the app. We kind of joke that a lot of companies call their apps users. We like to say that the only people that call their customers users are software companies and drug dealers. So we decided that backers was kind of a cool way to play on our name. So there's really 3 ways as a backer that you earn cash back and you can support a cause. The first way is we have a Google Chrome extension that you could download on your desktop. We are going to be releasing a Safari extension in about 3 weeks. So once you download that extension, it takes about 30 seconds. Whenever you go to Walmart.com, for example, or any of our participating merchants, this little bubble pops up over here on the right. It has your nonprofit that you're supporting there. You activate that cash back and you shop as you normally do. You get your cash back in your e-wallet, and then a donation goes to the cause. We have the same technology available for the iPhone and the Android as well, where you could start in the app and go that way, or you can start it, in Safari. If you're on the iPhone, you can start at Walmart.com from that standpoint as well, and also get the cash back. The last way is we have in-store opportunities, which is connected to card-linked offers. So you also have the opportunity to connect your existing credit cards. You don't have to get a new credit card. Just take the ones you normally use, link them with Givebacks. And then when you go into participating restaurants, we got about 10,000 participating restaurants, and also merchants like Bed Bath & Beyond, where you just go into those places, swipe with that credit card, and automatically the cash back happens behind the scenes. So those are the 3 ways that you could, leverage the cash back and get a donation to your favorite cause. There's also some savings benefits, again, this is really helping us with the current economy and all the prices skyrocketing. Once you download the extension into your desktop or on your phone, we have this cool search feature. So let's say, for example, you're specifically searching for a specific product or type of product. So in this example right here, type in women's clothes. You'll see that once you have the extension downloaded, it will show you in the search, which ones of those merchants that have women's clothing are providing givebacks, cash back to you and to your nonprofit. Excuse me, the mower is like right under my window here, so hopefully that's not too loud. And then also, you click through there, and then you end up back where I showed you before, where you get the pop-up and you can shop from there. Another cool feature we have that helps consumers save money, and this just happened to me last week when I was making some copies for my Kiwanis conference last week. I went to Office Max, Office Depot, and we have a feature called the Couponator. You may be familiar with Honey, which is an app that works similar to this. When you go to checkout, our app will completely search the internet for discount codes, all behind the scenes again, and say, hey, we found a discount code for you. You click apply, and in this particular case right here, I was getting $250 worth of copies for this big conference, and our couponator found a 40% off coupon. In this one specific example right here, not only did I get 2% cash back donation to my Kiwanis Club, but the Genie saved me $97 on one transaction. So not only is this, a great way to help nonprofits, but it's really helping consumers, save in a time when everybody's looking for ways to save a buck. So a couple more slides. This is an example of what a nonprofit or a cause can earn, based on the data that we have so far and from our affiliate partners. So roughly every 500 backers or so should be able to generate about $24,000 per year. So it's really a numbers game, and also if you're donating all of your cash back, that should equal about $75 per backer to the nonprofit every year. Again, in lifestyle giving, passive income that they're not having to go out there and, ask for another donation to get. So, nonprofits that really get behind this and promote it and get a lot of backers connected with their nonprofits have a great way to generate some passive revenue, which they're really concerned about with the economy. There's a lot of estimates out there that are saying that they're expecting over the next 2 years for donations to nonprofits and foundations and charities, churches, PTAs, et cetera, could drop as much as 30% over the next 2 years if the economy doesn't improve. So something like this coming along that can get in the middle of everyday transactions that are happening already could really be a lifesaver, especially for these smaller and medium-sized nonprofits. So as a nonprofit, you also get a dashboard. So not only is it a great way to raise passive funds, you also get to build new donors, because every time somebody signs up to be a backer, they may not have donated $100 or $1,000 to you in the past, but you will have their email. So you can start moving them into a communication stream and start building that relationship so that you could ultimately get them to, participate even more, volunteer for an event or something like this. So there's a lot of, back end CRM type management tools that the nonprofit gets to really kind of see where these new backers are coming from. They also get, every nonprofit, we provide their own dedicated QR code. If you were to snap this QR code right now, you would automatically download the app and be connected to support St. Jude's. That's their dedicated QR code. They also get a dedicated link that they could use to share in their social media or through their donor base. And when people click on that link, again, they're automatically connected to St. Jude's. We also provide a lot of ready-to-go promotional templates for email, social, videos, things like that. We understand that our nonprofits are volunteers, so we make sure that we provide them as much, pretty much templated, ready-to-go promotional materials that we can provide for them to go out there and recruit a bunch of backers for their cause. Another thing that we are launching in about 4 weeks, and we're very excited about this, is we're adding a feature to our Givebacks, which allows you to make donations. Most nonprofits use PayPal or some other sort of giving app right now. So you'll be able to do that right in Givebacks, one-time or recurring donations. And when you go and say, I want to give $10 a month to St. Jude's, you go through the process just like you would through PayPal. And what's cool is when you do that, it then takes you through the opportunity to sign up for Givebacks as well. So you can see that, this is one more way to help the nonprofits, convert one-time donors to possibly lifetime backers. So this is a great new feature that the nonprofits are going to be super excited about. We're not charging them as much as what PayPal charges. So it's a huge win-win for them. And lastly, what we're doing to kind of kick things off for the rest of the year, we're thinking limited time, is we're providing backer bonuses. So for, probably till the end of December, as causes bring in new backers, we're going to provide a one-time $5 backer bonus for every backer that downloads the Genie app and makes their first purchase. So you get the app today, you're connected to St. Jude's, you make a purchase at walmart.com, we're going to give $5 to St. Jude, in addition to what they're going to get with the cash back as well. We also have a pretty neat feature that's really taking off, which makes a lot of sense because people love the viral aspect of things, is once you get the app, you'll have your individual share link as well that's dedicated only to you. So you, as a backer, you could share givebacks with friends, relatives, and you get a referral bonus when they sign up. You'll get $5 in your wallet and your cause will get $5. So we've kind of built in, $10 customer acquisition costs to kind of get the givebacks kicked off. So, basically 100 referrals. If I referred givebacks and 100 of my referrals came on board and made a purchase, that's $500 that I earned plus $500 went to my cause. So that's a pretty popular thing, as you can imagine right now, that's kind of going on. So the question that I always get at the end of 1 Million Cups is, what can we do for you? So, this is what we're looking for right now. We've obviously got our first 50,000 users or backers coming on board predominantly through our Member Hub app right now, because what's happening is parents are joining the PTA, and when they join the PTA, they have an opportunity at checkout to check a box and download givebacks and donate another $5 to their school. So that's kind of what's happening right now and how we're growing so fast. But we know that's going to slow down over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So we need as many backers as we can get. We also need nonprofits. We've already got 1.8 million nonprofits loaded into givebacks. So they're in there now. We actually partner with Givebacks, which is our donor advised fund partner. So we've got the nonprofits already in the system, but they do have to go in there and get validated. So you can't just say, hey, I'm United Way, make a donation, and it goes in your bank account. We use Stripe to validate all of our nonprofits. So if you're, partial to supporting a nonprofit right now, when you go to Givebacks, you'll be able to find them. And if you are a nonprofit and you want to get validated, you go to causes.givebacks.com, and it walks you through the step of identifying who you are and getting through that process. Lastly, we're seeing some interest in corporations. So like if you have a company that has 200 or 300 employees, Givebacks is a great benefit for the employees to help them save money when everybody's trying to save money. And it also allows them to either support a corporate nonprofit that the whole company supports, or the big trend now we're seeing is big companies or middle-sized companies are moving away from the United way of giving, and they're moving more towards letting the employee kind of decide who they want to support. So this is a great tool that can help employers, provide an opportunity for their employees to be able to give back to something that's important to them, not necessarily the corporate charity. So if you guys have contacts with companies that are looking for something, to do as we roll into the holidays and Giving Tuesdays, that's where we, find some support from some of the 1 Million Cups that I've been speaking with over the last couple of months. So that's my story. What
So
question?
Dylan, I have a question. So is there a cost for the backer or the nonprofit? I mean,
Yeah, there's no cost for anybody involved except for the merchant. This is 100% funded by the merchant. So
okay.
you as a backer, you download the app. There's no cost for you. As a matter of fact, we're paying people to use it, with a referral fee. And then the nonprofit doesn't have any, we were kicking around the idea, maybe we do need to charge the nonprofits maybe like $99, just enough to kind of have them have some skin in the game. That's every day we're learning, because we have a lot of nonprofits that sign up and they get excited about it, and then they kind of fall off because we think that maybe it's because they don't really have anything into it. But for right now and for the immediate future, there's no cost for the backer or the nonprofit to utilize the platform.
I like the model you have now. I don't know that I would charge the nonprofit. I think they need to see that they're gaining something from it. I think once they see that their donations are coming in and people are they're getting rewarded for this, that's going to be the motivating factor, and that's what's going to go get them to get more people to sign on to this, because it really is a good thing.
I agree with you, Cindy. It's like, our CEO is the one who's like, why aren't they? So he's kind of pushing it, but I'm like, we got to give it time, and also, as we get the Ronald McDonald Houses of the world, which we're starting to bring in now, and they're, what some of the good success we're seeing as we learn every day is the nonprofits that connect givebacks to an event So, for example, last week in Gainesville, Florida, the Ronald McDonald House had their annual gala. And when they sold the tickets, they asked everybody to download Givebacks before they came in, and they would be entered into a drawing to win a prize. I don't know what the prize was, but that by using that leverage, when people were already in the giving mood or signing up for something, they ended up bringing in about 200 backers, before people even came to the event. So, they're getting creative and they're learning. So, yeah, I agree with you, Cindy. We need to wait and kind of see how it works.
Because I think you hit on a really good thing there, that linking it to an event, they just need to see the benefit from it. So
Right.
with that in mind, my question was going to be, I'm assuming you take the nonprofits, all sizes, everything from my local PTA to St. Jude's.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we really like about this. We're seeing, for the giant nonprofits, this will be something like they'll probably just plug it in like they do Amazon Smile and just put it on their website. But when you got a nonprofit like My Kiwanis Club that only has 9 members, and we've already got 67 backers, and we've raised about $645 in 8 weeks, that's substantial. So we really think, personally, I think that the biggest impact short term is going to be in those small to medium sized nonprofits.
And I would definitely go after educational facilities because all of us could use more money.
Meaning higher ed.
Yep. Well, higher ed, the local high schools, elementary schools, everything, private schools in particular. If you can get some leverage of getting into some groups that are involved with private schools, because they rely on, they're not getting the funding from the government,
Right.
like other schools would, like the public schools would. So I think you definitely have a market there with the private schools.
Yep, I agree. Private schools are, we've the 14 or 15,000 PTAs that we have now are predominantly in the public schools. So that, that's kind of the low hanging fruit that we've been working on for the last 3 or 4 months. So we are definitely, like, I've got a call with the American Christian Schools Association next week. So certainly agree with you there that the private schools are, that they're fundraising machines, and they'll definitely get behind this, especially the ones connected to churches. Because they got a built-in congregation, and they got a way to really promote it. So
Absolutely, because I know our church right now is doing a fundraiser for the school that's connected to it. So
Yep.
you always want to help those. I apologize because I haven't had a chance to go to your website. Do you have a list of backers so people can see all the different organizations that you can choose from?
yeah, you could when you're on givebacks.com, the first thing you need to do when you go on there is going to direct you to select the cause. You have to select a cause. You can't just go there and get cash back. So we believe that that's why we built this, is to help nonprofits. So kind of step one in the onboarding is you find a nonprofit, and you could search by name, EIN number, location, by, hey, I like to support animals, I like to support the climate. So we've got all the different categories, and there's a big map you could zoom in. So there's lots of ways that you can see who's already connected in there. And they may not be validated yet, and Amazon Smile works the same way. They've got all the nonprofits in there. So once somebody finds a nonprofit, and once they get to $25 in donations, then we automatically reach out to the nonprofit and say, hey, by the way, I didn't know if you realized that you've already got some donations. You need to go and get validated. So you can already go in there and start supporting a nonprofit, even if they haven't gotten validated yet.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So is there a video of how to walk somebody through all the stuff you just showed us? Like how to get the app and select the box that comes up where you select your organization, that kind of stuff?
Yes, and the promotional center for the nonprofits. We have all the different videos that they can share with their constituents, put on their websites, that walks them through that. It's really, and the onboarding process, we put, I'd say 80% of our funding went into that. To make that as painless and easy as possible. It's we use the genie. The genie is the personality that walks you through, the 3 things that you need to do to kind of get rolling. And also the genie is also our AI. So let's say you signed up and you downloaded the Chrome extension. Like a week later, Genie will send you an email and say, hey, did you know if you link a credit card, you could save money at all these restaurants? So the Genie keeps working you until you get the 3 things loaded: the Chrome extension, the mobile, and the link card. Because when you have those 3 things connected, that's when you earn the most cash back and you support the most for your nonprofit.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. The reason I asked is I'm getting ready to link you to a bunch of people.
Oh, nice. We appreciate that.
Well, it's a good cause, and it costs me nothing. I'm gonna shop no matter what. Now somebody can actually benefit from it.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's changing the way that I shop because I mean, I've been default Amazon for a while. I live over here on the coast, and I'm not too close to any big box stores or any of that. So, and I'm not a big fan of Amazon, but you can't deny that they know what they're doing and they can
Yeah.
get me stuff quick. So, but now what I'm doing, like my wife, she wanted a specific pair of Maui Jim sunglasses that she's had for 5 years. So I said, wait a minute, before you go to Amazon, which is what we've been doing for the last 5, 6 years, we went to Google and we searched her exact pair of Maui Jims, and we found out that Sunglass Hut is participating, and we got 2.5% back on a $300 pair of sunglasses. So now it's starting to shift the way that I shop. I will start at Google and type in gas grills, or specifically what I'm looking for. And with 25,000 merchants, you'd be surprised how many, especially online merchants, are participating in the program. So it's kind of neat to start there at Google, and you'll discover places you may not even know that existed. It might not get here tomorrow. I might have to wait 2 days, but I'm going to save some money, and it's going to get a donation to my cause. So, in a weird way, it's kind of helping me, look around for better deals, which I've kind of not been doing lately with Amazon. It did just make it so easy.
Yeah, I applaud what you're doing. I got one more question, then I'll let everybody else jump in. How did you finance this business?
We have supporters, venture capitalists. We've raised about $7.1 million over the last 5 years. The first 5 million was pretty much raised to build our Member Hub software platform, and then the last 2 million that we've raised over the last year and a half has been specifically to build Givebacks. And what we're waiting for now, we got about 1.10 or 1.9 in the bank right now. And also we're in the fastest growing time now through the end of September. We're running about $500,000 a day through Member Hub as people are signing up on the PTA, and we get a small piece of that. So we're pretty good, probably for about a year and a half. But our goal is to get Givebacks up and running so that we've got this, this replicable launch plan. We're trying to find that what is the magic button that we can share with these nonprofits so that they can wash, rinse, repeat. And once we prove that model out, which we're getting close to, that's when we're going to go after probably, as much as a $10 million seed so that we could really just start blowing this out, direct to consumer.
Dylan, this is a heck of a presentation. I salute you and salute what you're doing.
Thanks, Jesse.
Especially for backers and nonprofits. I'm associated with one big one. It's a VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars. I don't know if they're one of your nonprofits or not. But the only question I have, Dylan, is how can I get a copy of your slides?
I will turn them into a PDF and send them to Lori. You can get
that
them
would
out
be good.
Yeah.
But and I say this because there's a lot of education that's in all of your slides here. For just like what Cindy was saying, we know a tremendous amount of people here locally as well, and we could probably help you this way by sharing your story and what you're doing, and that's based off the information that you provided with us today.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. And one of the ways that I like to use it too is, Kiwanis is my main nonprofit, but I like to change my nonprofit. You can only support one at a time.
Yeah.
But you can change it. So what I've been doing is like changing it monthly. So I'm a big proponent of teen mental health. So in May for Teen Mental Health Month, I switched it to the Youth Mental Health Project. In October, I will probably switch to a breast cancer foundation.
Yeah.
In November, I'll do something for veterans. So I kind of like moving my donations around in conjunction with, fundraising national months and recognition months. So I like the flexibility to be able to switch my my cause whenever I want, and then also be able to donate all of my cash back, which I do, because I'm like, what do I need with a couple $100? It's, when I go to a restaurant, for example, and spend $100,
yeah,
and I get, $6.75 back, I would not think to take that $6.75 and donate it to somebody. So I love the fact that I could do this and it automatically donates to my cause without me having to think about it. And then after the course of the year, hey, that number's added up and I've made, $400 or $500 in donations. And that's pretty rewarding considering I probably wouldn't have got around to it had it been, $5, $6 increments over the year.
See, that's a key point, Dylan. And that's what I like about this is because that's a very good selling point to backers.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I mean, they have that option of what they want to do. And if they pursue a model like what you're saying, which is something I would do. I mean, I would think that you would share all 12 months, you would share that with different nonprofits.
Yeah. And it's fun to bounce it around.
Yeah. Well, November's coming up. We know what month that is. So.
Yep. I'm a big fan of the Independence Fund. It's based in Charlotte. And they've signed up and we support them, pretty regularly.
Okay. Anyway, thanks, Dylan. If you'll send those slides to Lori, I mean, she'll push them out to us.
Sure will.
Okay.
Dylan, just don't forget to remove the slide that you're using just for 1MC.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'll do that.
So Dylan, in the future, you mentioned being able to change your nonprofit. In the future, do you foresee Givebacks being able to, like, if I wanted to support 2 nonprofits at once, maybe splitting my money between the 2, or are you going to just keep it where you can donate to one and then change it if you would like to?
Yeah, that's a great question, Lori. And we get the same question, especially for millennials. Because they like a lot of control. So that is in the roadmap, probably not until early 2023. But we are kind of considering giving people the option of up to 4 nonprofits where they can say 25% goes here, 25% here. But right now we're just trying to, keep it simple. Another thing that we're adding in the next 60 days will be a merchant onboarding component. Because what we're hearing, although we have 10,000 local restaurants in there right now, most of the restaurants are in the bigger metro areas. Like there's 100 killer restaurants in Raleigh, but in Fayetteville, we've only got 3 or 4. In Gainesville, we've only got 3 or 4. There's 100 in Orlando. So we're already hearing from nonprofits in local smaller areas, like, hey, here's the 20 restaurants that I know I could pick up the phone right now and they'll support us. So we're going to make it easy for nonprofits and PTAs and schools to share givebacks with their business partners, so that they could easily sign up restaurants. And then it becomes this incredible, great marketing tool for these restaurants, because what we're building for them is the capability to, to control when they do the givebacks. Like, for example, they'll be able to, if they're packed on Saturday and have a 2-hour wait, they can make it only Sunday through Friday. They could also look out in their dining room on a Tuesday night and see that it's half empty and literally go on an app and send a notification to all the backers around their area that, hey, come in the next 4 hours for a free appetizer. So we're going to put all these killer marketing tools in there that the restaurants will be able to use as well. So, those are some of the things that are kind of in the roadmap, phase 2, phase 3. Good question.
I love that, by the way.
And you guys got here's my email, direct email. So if you've got, you can go to causes.givebacks.com if you're a cause and sign up. But, Cindy, you mentioned you've got a lot of, people you want to introduce. Feel free to, in the early stages now, give them my emails because I could walk them through, a little bit more personal as opposed to them trying to go in and figure out how to, even though it's easy to do it themselves, I'm more than happy to, walk them through to make sure they get set up right. We also have representatives in Raleigh that cover the Fayetteville area. So if we get enough interest down in Fayetteville, we actually have Evan, our guy, will come down and have, in-person meetings as well in the Fayetteville area.
That's a good idea, because you could go to like church groups and schools and all of that, and you have like the large groups of parents and stuff that are already there. Makes it a whole lot easier when you're talking to several people at one time.
Yeah, it's so funny. You mentioned the high school. We had a football team in Raleigh, Broughton High School. It's a huge high school up in Raleigh. They actually had an event last week where they brought in 20 pizzas for the football team. And in order for the players to come in, they had to bring 10 emails. So they brought in their mobile device. they all had Givebacks loaded, and they had to sit there and share their Givebacks link with 10 of their friends, and then they got to eat pizza. And they ended up signing close to 300 backers in that one night. They haven't made a purchase yet, but that's a great way to get people into the system. So again, they're finding different ways, and you're right. The whole share app, and then they also let the kids keep the $5 referral, so they got to earn $50 themselves if they shared it with 10 people, which was kind of neat.
Another thing you could do is sometimes organizations, especially ones that are service organizations, have projects they do. Because I'm involved with Future Business Leaders of America. And a few years ago, we did one where we did all the sign up your Food Line card, so you could get, they could get rewards and stuff for that. But I'm thinking if you could connect with some service organizations and become one of their projects, where they go out and collect that, just like you were talking about with the football players, and they go out and collect information or contacts for you, or get people to sign up directly and have a contest. That would be a pretty good idea. That's a good service project. So again, a good way to go to that is like to the schools, high schools and stuff that have clubs where they have to do community service projects. Colleges, we're always looking for something to do that's different, new, and something where it doesn't cost us anything to do this project. It's word of mouth for us.
Yeah, we've got a couple of, I'm very close with Kiwanis, obviously. So we've got Key Club in high school.
Yep.
So Key Clubs are into it. The CKI is our college clubs, and they just came on board in North and South Carolina, the CKI clubs. And they're excited because they're thinking, college kids, they're going to set up tables in front of the student store and just, get people to sign up just to save money, which is they're hardwired. And you watch a 22-year-old download this app, it's like, boom. This is so what they do every day anyway. So these college and high school groups who really grab onto this as early adopters and go in there and get a bunch of backers signed up, they're really going to benefit from it, because that, interestingly enough, because of the pandemic, the fastest growing generation of online shoppers is 65 plus. I found that really interesting because we kind of got forced to do that during the pandemic, and they're not in any hurry to go back to Walmart. So, but still, the young people, the millennials and Gen Z, they were already doing it. So everybody's into online shopping now. So it just makes sense to be connected with something like this. You're going to be doing it anyway.
What about Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts? Are they are they one of the options that you can select? If it is,
they're in there now.
Then go after some of those troops and let them go, like you said, sit outside the store with their boxes of cookies, and also sign people up for givebacks.
Absolutely. It's a numbers game. There's 28 of us. So it's hard for us to get out to, like I said, we've got 1.8 million. If they're a 501c3, 4, or 8, they are already in the system. So if you typed in Boy Scouts, you'll probably see, in addition to Boy Scouts of America's national office, there'll probably be hundreds of individual troops on there too, if they are, if they have a tax ID. Same thing for Habitat for Humanity. A lot of these multi-chapter organizations, Rotary, Kiwanis, things like that, they're already in there. So it's just getting the word out to them.
And if you want Lori to sign up, you just need lots of pets.
Anybody else have any comments, questions, ideas? Anybody on the call from East Carolina? No pirates on the call? That's where I went.
But we have some wolf packs in the house.
Don't even go there. I don't even want to talk about that game the other night.
Well, I like the one Saturday better, so 55-3 was much better.
So do we have any further questions for Dylan?
Yeah, I forgot to ask you, which chapter are you for 1 Million Cups?
Daytona Beach.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan, we have a pretty quiet group today, and we really appreciate your presentation. And I know that you came with 3 asks, but I'm going to ask the last question. What else can this community do for you? How can we help you?
just spread the word. Like I said, there's 28 of us. Half of us in Raleigh, the other half are spread around the country. So, we don't have anybody. That's why I'm doing these 1 million cups, around the Southeast, is we just want to get the word out about Givebacks. Share, with your friends. Try Givebacks yourself. I'll share the, Lori, when I share these slides with you, I'll also, put the links in there so you make it easy for people to click on and, go try it themselves. And as you're using the app, there's a feedback bar over on the right, because we're still, we're 99.9% sure we've got it right. But every time it never fails. Every time I do a 1 million cups presentation, within a week or so, someone reaches out and says, you know what, this would work better if it did this, so that feedback bar is in there. So please use the app, and, anything that you think you like, or you think could work better, or if you find a bug, just hit that little feedback knob on the desktop or the mobile app and help us out. You guys are business leaders, and oftentimes you may see something that we don't see because we're so close to it.
Well, Dylan, thank you for a fantastic presentation. It was a pleasure having you. We would love to invite you back in the future. Let us know how Givebacks is doing. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I hope to see you guys next week. You guys go out, have a great day, and see you next week.
Thanks,
Dylan,
everybody.
I'll be waiting on the slides and your info, and I'll make sure I distribute that. Okay.
Sounds good.
All
Send
right.
it in now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.